Good morning, Greene County. It is exciting to be here. We still have a few coming in the door, but this morning we're going to hear from Brandi, and I'm not going to try to pronounce Brandi's last name. I apologize. I will mess it up. But we're very excited. You know, last year we really tried to kick it into high gear with our United Way campaign. And we tried to highlight the Harold Bench Fund, which a lot of you participated and supported. And so to kind of share with us some of our successes and also to kick off our 2024 campaign, or I should say help us kick off our 2024 campaign a little bit earlier this year, please welcome Brandi from United Way.
So I'm Brandi VanAntwerp, and I'm the new president and CEO at United Way of the Ozarks. Been there for just over 2 months. I'm really excited to see you all. So you're the first workplace campaign that I get to go and present to. So thank you very much. So what I want to say first is, holy moly, you guys, 36% increase last year on your workplace campaign, and that is incredible. So congrats to you all. That's really, really, really great. So what let me just read my notes really quick here. Okay, I'm going to put my notes away. What I'm going to do first is try to get this to progress properly and use technology. I already told you that I am Brandi, and so here's my photo, and to not make it awkward and have you look at my photo for a long time, I'm going to progress past my picture. We're going to play a video in just a second, but what I wanted to tell you is that really, your workplace campaign giving makes a big difference, and it helps us mobilize support within our community to help the folks, our neighbors who are all around us. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. But first, to play the video,
United Way of the Ozarks. We are leading the way to brighter futures and a more connected community. We unify and mobilize so all can thrive. We create change with the power of collective action and resources. We create change with you. Our work starts with caring action from you, volunteers, partners, donors. You are United Way. Your action champions children, supports education and health programs for our youth, opening doors to their full potential. Your generosity provides pathways out of poverty, stable housing, workforce training, and financial literacy. Your helping hand and kind word, an hour of your time, a portion of your paycheck. All uplift our neighbors, our community. Join us to change the trajectory of generations. Do more, give more today to make our community a better place for all to live and help one another. United, we are leading the way.
Thank you for championing children. Thank you for providing pathways out of poverty. Thank you for leading the way.
So we believe in creating community change, and that's only possible with you all. What sets us apart from other nonprofits in our community is that we work in a more collaborative approach. So the funds that you donate either go into our community investment pool, or they can be designated, like Bob mentioned. So they can be designated specifically to an agency, to a program, to Harold Bench Fund, whatever it is that really has your heart and your passion. What we're able to do is approach a wide variety of challenges within our community. So it can be education, it can be poverty, it can be housing, it can be healthcare, a number of things that we're able to do through our community investment fund. So it's a comprehensive impact that we're able to create with United Way of the Ozarks. So while we do operate globally, we are a chapter here in our area, right? And we've been here for over 90 years in this Springfield, greater Springfield community. We serve 14 county service area, and currently we fund 20 different programs at 15 different nonprofit agencies. And so I'll show you that in just a moment on another slide on the nonprofits that we get to work with. So our focus is, we have 2 focus areas, championing children and then providing pathways out of poverty. And so through that, we're able to work with a number of different agencies. And that's specific to our community investment fund. So again, if you have a passion project at a specific nonprofit and you want to designate your funds to that nonprofit, you can do that. And it stays outside of our community investment fund. So we work around these 2 areas, and championing children means that we get to ensure that our community's children reach their full potential. We help them achieve important milestones in development, in education and health. And we know that every child deserves the opportunity to succeed regardless of their home experiences. Maybe we can help them out through different nonprofit agencies. Secondarily, we will provide pathways out of poverty. And so that includes stable housing, workforce readiness, financial literacy, and more. But again, we don't do it alone. We have a very collaborative approach with United Way. So we work with folks like you all in workplace campaigns who also hit the governmental agency component. We work with donors and volunteers. We work with local nonprofits, workplaces, corporations, and labor unions as well. Did you know that we have a person on staff who actually works as our AFL-CIO? So she's working with labor folks, trying to support them in their workplaces as well. So by pooling our resources, and sharing our expertise, we can derive collective action. So now I want you to take a minute and think about somebody who might be in your own workplace, somebody who might live down the street from you, somebody that you see at church every week, whoever it might be. United Way's funds are there to support folks who are going through a number of different needs. And maybe it's a dad who's lost his way and needs supports on how to be a better parent. Maybe it's a child who needs aftercare or after school care so they can have a safe place to stay, work on their homework, and have a trusted adult to be there to support them while their parents are at work. Maybe it's a kid who is couch surfing and doesn't have a place to stay in that moment. And so we're there to support them through the funds with our collective impact to make sure that these folks have the supports that they need. So a little bit about Community Investment Fund. As you know, you can designate your gift specifically to one passion project, if you will, but you can also donate when it's undesignated to our Community Investment Fund. And so the way that that works, if you look at these images, you can sort of think of it as the hands is giving the gift. The community fund is where all the dollars get pooled together in the fund. The next box is where we have folks who submit their applications as a nonprofit. So it could be Child Advocacy Center, it could be CASA, it could be Ozarks Literacy Council, for example. The next image that you see is where we have a group of 60 volunteers that are donors who come in for our community investment panel. They read the applications, they see that the nonprofits come in and present about their nonprofits. They learn about those applications and what their intentions are with those funds. They then decide who gets the money. So in that group of 60 people, they do all of the evaluating, they do all of the scoring, and they make the recommendations on who gets the funds from our community investment fund. That then goes to our board of directors in June and gets voted upon. And so for 2 years, in July 1, we just announced our 2-year group of partners that we work with. And those are nonprofit agencies running different programs. So I'm going to show you 3 different slides, and these are the programs that we're currently funding. We've taken on an approach where we fund upstream, which is prevention. We fund safety net, which is for folks in crisis. And then we fund innovation. And so that could be any type of program that's maybe cutting edge, it's a little bit newer, it's something that's maybe a newer issue within our community that's presented itself. So here on the screen, you can see a number of different agencies and programs. Next to the yellow dot is the program that is residing within that nonprofit organization that we're working with. This is Safety Net. So again, this is where folks are immediately in need. They are in crisis in that moment, and they need support from us. So they're able to get those funds to support their clients who are having that immediate need, or what we call safety net. And then our last funding is our innovation. And so we have 2 agencies who received funds in our innovation category for the 2-year cycle. And one is the CASA Clubhouse, which I'm sure have you all heard about, the CASA Clubhouse that's now been open for a year. So they've exceeded their numbers. They are supporting youth every single day, whether it be laundry services, mentorship, having a safe place for a biological parent and their child who's in foster care to have a visit with one another. There are a number of things that are happening within that space. And so to us, that was something that we thought was innovative. It was new. It's the first across the country for CASA to have a clubhouse like that. Okay. So here's some impact data. So through United Way, when you support us, you are able to help us with proven programs. And here's some of the impact that we were able to provide over the last 2-year period. So 4,130 youth were supported by a consistent, caring adult relationship. 2,167 youth achieved new academic and developmental milestones. 10,392 victims received support in a crisis. 1,024 unhoused individuals moved into stable housing. So you can see there's other data points on here as well. There's a lot of help that's being created through your dollars. I know earlier you were saying you give, however, $3.84 a paycheck, right? I know you were being fun with me, and I love it. I love that you can have fun. So what that's doing is collective impact. Truly though, your dollars plus my dollars plus everyone in the room who's giving, all of our dollars together become stronger, and we can help our community in greater ways, which is beautiful. So thank you. So we also have a veterans fund, and last year we supported 89 veterans, and we gave out $39,000 in support through United Way directly. This is outside of our collective impact fund, so you can also designate to the veterans fund directly on your paycheck, on your employee contributions. We also support a program called 211. And so if you ever get a call or you know anyone personally who's in crisis, who needs support, it's a 24/7 line. What we do is we have folks who are there available to answer the phone, and there are multiple languages that are able to translate. So if a person, doesn't speak English, don't worry. You can call into 211. They can get the supports they need, and they can find out where they can find shelter, clothing, food, housing, employment. I already said shelter, but I'll just repeat myself. So last year, 8,493 calls were made to that line. So another way of our impact is Day of Caring, and I'm sure some of you have been out there before to support Day of Caring, and to me, it's my favorite day of the year. It's really fun. You get to go out and provide that sweat equity and get out of the office and meet new people, work with your coworkers, and help nonprofits in need. So this past June, $211,000 in in-kind contributions to complete 121 projects just here locally. A few of them were outside of Greene County, but most of them were right here in our own county. So why give to United Way? First, you get to support more than one cause. Again, we talked about collective impact, how one person's support and another person's support, and we all come together, and all of a sudden we've made up $1 million. We made up a $2 million, right? Whatever that number is that we can raise this year, you're able to support with that, and we're able to make a bigger change, and a ripple effect happens within our community. Second, you're supporting proven programs that have been vetted by our 60-person volunteer donor panel, who then decide who get those funds when it's going into our community investment. And then third, it's easy and flexible to give. So you can, I know rollovers with Greene County, I believe, are, you do a rollover, correct? But not for designations. Is that correct? Or you do for the designations as well? Awesome. Okay, so you can check with Cindy if you have any questions though, but what you'll want to do is, check on what your fund was from the last year. If you want to make any changes, or if you want to go ahead and designate this year and you didn't last, you can make those updates if you need to. So the power of collective giving: when you're giving in your amount, you're making a donation and you're creating a movement and a change. And it shows how everyone in our community comes together to support the power of United Way. So here's our funding pool. So if you want to see sort of where things come in from, we get about 55% from employee gifts, 32% from corporate gifts, smaller amounts from individuals and events. But last year we were able to raise $1.94 million. Our goal this year is $2 million. And if you ask Dr. Grenada Lathan, it's $2.3 million. Because she's our co-chair of the campaign, and the other night at our kickoff, she was like, why not make it 2.3? Okay. So we hope that you'll join us today and support. So this is for you. We really appreciate your support this last year in our campaign, and that's for you to put on your desk or
thank you, but this is for all of our employees, and I will accept this on behalf of you all. And we had a lot of team captains in different areas of the county that made this possible. And I can't remember what our goal was. I think it was like a 20%. Excuse me.
Increase.
20% increase. Yep. And what did it turn out?
Hit 36% increase.
36. Woohoo!
Really good.
Exciting.
Overachievers. Maybe that can be a rotating trophy that you can.
There we go. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited to kick off this year's campaign, and thank you so much for coming out.
I appreciate your time.
Helping us. Let's give Brandi another hand. And before she slips out, are there any questions about United Way, this year's campaign, or anything in general for Brandi? Okay. Brandi, thank you so much. Appreciate your leadership. Thanks for all you're doing. So kicking off now as opposed to fourth quarter during the holidays, we thought this would be a little bit better, more conducive to just kind of everybody getting into the swing of things. But what do we think we can do goal-wise for 2024? We set a goal last year. I think it was 20%, and it was just kind of pulled out of the hat. And we hit 36. So pretty amazing. What is the percentage that the 36 is the percentage in growth of total giving. So it can be, you know, I know last year we did, a lot of the office holders came together and we did a chili supper in the rotunda, and people could go and just buy the chili. And we had some, I know Cindy's office does a bake sale each year. So there were individual large giving things that go into the total that's averaged out over the year. And then we also had kind of an emphasis on the Herald Bench Fund, and we asked employees to give the minimum, which I think is $2 a paycheck. It has to be at least $50 a year for them to designate a gift. And so, yeah, the 36% increase is the total dollar amount that's given compared to the year before. So honestly, our giving is kind of low compared to other entities. And when we looked at our numbers last year, I thought we ought to be able to, you know, do a little bit better. So, thoughts on that? We also can make it more fun. You know, you got to be careful with me because I will have like miniature golf set up in the rotunda or something. I don't know. Anyway, any final thoughts? Okay. Well, so what we'll do is we'll get the forms and we will distribute those to, I think, office holders and department heads for this year. And at our next office holders meeting, perhaps we can kind of circle around and see where we are with those. And if you have a creative idea, you want to see if it's something, you know, that, I mean, just go for it. It's my thought. Just go for it. So, all right. Anything else we need to cover? All right. Thank you all very much. Have a great day.